So I was asked in the comments how I achieved on this part, which is particularly Fuselage01-full, how I achieved these holes in the base of the printed part, which are subsequently used to be able to assemble some other parts which are related to front wheel assembly. Because the original part, if we look at the original 3D model, the STL provided on the internet, the base of this part is solid, and I wanted to avoid cutting into it to make these holes for the front wheel assembly purposes. So I adjusted some settings in the slicer to let the final product or print like this. And it was simply achieved by using so-called modifiers. If we will switch to this window, these yellow discs are mentioned modifiers. And within these modifiers I'm able to change some slicer settings. So for this bottom modifier, for this bottom disc, which is this one, there are used 30 wall loops, which subsequently creates these yellow flanges, and thus the area which is shorter than these 30 wall loops is empty. Another part of this modifier is that I used two layers for the base, just to make it a bit more stronger. And there is also used modifier number 2, which is at the top, and this was used for proper printing of the nose of this Fuselage01-full part. And for this particular modifier, the setting is that there are used just 2 wall loops, and there is used the infill. It's 20%. And if we look at the final slicing, here is the bottom with the holes used for assembly purposes. The main part of this 3D print is just a single wall, so we can see here, and going up, and once the slicer reaches the top modifier, it starts to build some infill, and it properly closes the tip of the Fuselage01 part. This part is, I guess, the only one which is not printed by means of the VAS mode. It is printed in ordinary way. As you can see, these white marks or white lines, these are the seams, and they are prepared in such way that they are hidden from outside. So the outer view on this part after printing is quite clear. There are few here is continuing of the seam, but also inside. The only moment where the seam gets to outside is the tip itself. Here you can see the white markings. This is the seam from outside, but this is definitely something what can be easily solved by means of soft sandpaper. But the result of this print looks like, as you can see on the very first video where I'm showing how the fuselage is assembled.